looking forward to hearing the discussion. Thank you.
Ms. Petrie-Norris.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Director Hilliard, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, the two things I really want to dig into are customer service and the department's technology. So starting with customer service, you mentioned in your opening remarks that you are working around the clock, and that's actually a phrase I've heard you use previously. So what are the opening hours of your call center right now?
We have two call centers right now. Our main one is Monday through Friday, 8 to 12. And then we have a secondary technical assistance from 8 to 8, 7 days a week.
Okay. So, and if I'm correct, the call center that's staffed with actual trained caseworkers is open from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. Is that correct?
They're technical too, but I mean, all of our agents have different levels of assistance, but.
Okay, so help me understand, why do we have caseworkers who are only working 4 hours a day?
Because the other hours they're paying benefits. So that's our primary, to make sure that our benefits and our payments are going out the door as quickly as possible. So we need, there's some level of human intervention that's needed for our claim processing. Not all of them go through the system automatically.
So I know that many constituents in my district, and I think across the state, have had the experience of spending literally hours on the phone waiting for somebody to pick up. And then when they pick up and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they are told, sorry, our trained, skilled, actual caseworkers are only here from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. I can only provide you with technical assistance, which amounts to nothing. So I guess I would argue that 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. is not working around the clock, and that 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. is not acceptable customer service. So I guess my question is, when are we going to extend those hours and provide service all day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.?
So I think I mentioned in my opening remarks that we're looking to combine the call centers, the two of them, into one, so we provide full service from 8 to 8. That's what we're working towards.
Great. And when is that?
I don't have an exact date. I don't have an exact date on that.
Okay.
But
and
in addition,
I apologize in advance for interrupting you. I know that we're on a tight time clock, so I got to use my 5 minutes. So I'm just going to keep jumping in so we can make as much progress as possible. Okay. So sorry. When are we going to be able to deliver on that goal and have our call centers open from 8 to 8?
They are currently open from 8 to 8.
When are we going to have
like
them
I said,
staffed with
combining them.
actual caseworkers from 8 to 8?
We do have fully trained on the 8 to 8. We continue to enhance our skills of our folks every day, but we're adding more and more. We have people coming out of training every week that are fully trained for claim processing, being added to the phones as we speak.
Right. So this call center that's right now open from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., and which you've said your target is to extend the hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., when is that going to happen?
So, like I said, so we already are open 8 to 8, and we do provide both technical and claim assistance. And we're adding more people that are trained to help do the full gamut and are rolling off onto the technical line every day.
Director, you're not in the room, so you're not seeing the number of eyes rolling and the number of exasperated folks in the audience as you are continuing to fail to answer this question. It honestly, it's a simple question, and the fact that you're not willing to answer it does not give me any faith that you're actually going to achieve the goals and the targets that you shared with us as part of your opening remarks. With that being said, moving on. So our constituents have also been told that your callback list has a 4 to 6 week wait time. Is that true?
Right now, it's 4 to 6 weeks wait time on the call list.
Okay, so again, do you think that is acceptable?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, and what is the target callback time that you have set for your department?
We're actually trying to get out of the business of doing callbacks. That's why we're upgrading our call center so we can have fully trained staff from 8 to 8, one virtual call center, and providing full service 7 days a week. So that's what we're working towards. But in the meantime, we're putting fully trained people into our 8 to 8 technical centers so they can answer full service questions.
Understood. Again, you've several times mentioned the initiative you have underway to upgrade the call center to provide full service from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that's your number one goal. So when is that going to come online?
I don't have exact date of that. We're starting with skill-based routing. So calls go into very different buckets that are specific to around the issue to help the customer and also make it easier to process whatever the concern is. So that is being rolled out in the middle of October. As soon as we finish skill-based routing, we're moving on to working on doing the consolidation. I just don't have a final date on the consolidation.
Okay, well, the most important part of a project plan is number one, like clear goals and deliverables, and number two, an actual target timeline, so everybody is working towards the same goal. So if we've paid $50 million to Deloitte and they haven't even given you a project plan with actual timelines, then I think you need to ask for your money back. Okay, moving on a little bit. So quickly, I'll ask a couple questions on the technology side. In 2016, did your department announce that the modernization project was going to take 11 years?
I can't speak to that. We follow the POW process set by the California Department of
The answer is
Technology.
yes. Continue.
All right. Okay. So during the pandemic, we've become aware that a number of states have successfully overhauled their UI systems in a matter of months or even weeks. Are you aware of that? Have you read the stories and seen the news articles about the successes that other states have had in this in this field?
Every state is in a different situation as far as where their system is. Some are fully modernized, and some are more antiquated than us. So it all depends where they are in the process.
Have you at any point reached out to your counterparts in other states to understand what they have done in order to successfully transform their delivery system in a matter of weeks and months rather than the years that it looks like it's going to take us?
Absolutely. We participate in the National Association of Workforce Administrators and meet regularly as a collective nation to share best practices and what people are doing. And I'm not familiar with any state that has modernized their whole UI system in months.
There have been a couple of states who have been able to launch a cloud-based system, some leveraging like Amazon's delivery platform that has been able to operate alongside their legacy system. So have you contacted the vendors and the technology companies who have delivered these solutions that are actually in the field now and working?
Yeah, and I'm very excited to have the strike force come in and help with that to see if there's additional technologies that could be considered. I know Jennifer, who's going to head up the strike team, has great technology background, so I'm thrilled to have her on board.
All right. So I think that the announcement of the strike team is good. I wish it had come earlier, but my concern is that all of these timelines just seem totally out of step with the urgency of the moment that we are in. And to me, it actually was exemplified when you pointed out that you're moving forward on our request to appoint a single point of contact for each legislative office. And that was a request that we made of your team, I think in April. And the fact that you've kind of proudly told us now that you're going to share guidance about that next week in mid-August, to me just exemplifies how slowly things are moving. And I'm really concerned. I'm very, very concerned about what I've heard so far, and I guess would urge us to expedite the solutions that we're talking about, and rather than wait, months for reports and months for analyses on whether or not a data dashboard makes sense, to actually make solutions happen now and make progress now. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chair, and we'll wait for my next turn.
Mr. Obernolte?